We bought this 2008 Ford Mustang with hail damage from Copart Auto Auction for just $1,600, and we turned it into this clean, dependable ride that is now valued at $4,500. Want to know how we did it? Stay locked in. We'll show you how. All right, guys, so we got another one on Copart. We're bidding on the 2008 Ford Mustang. This vehicle has a clean title out of Texas, 170K, 172K on the dash, hail damage all over. I know you're probably thinking hail damage, what are we gonna do with that? We're gonna try to figure it out, guys. This will be the first documented hail damage vehicle, but it definitely won't be our first that we've done. We've definitely flipped a couple before. So hail damage all over. Parts estimated this vehicle to be around $5,500. It's a 6-cylinder with 4.0 liter, red in color, manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, gasoline, being sold by USAA. Always a plus when it's coming from an insurance company. So the auction's coming up shortly. Just got a notification that our watch item is next on the block.
Sold. Bidder.
All right, so the bidding just started. 950, 975, 975, 1,000. Quickly running up. I'm gonna put a bid in here at 1,000. It took me right out. I got another bid in here at 1,200. Currently winning at 1,200. It just took me out. I'll bid. Put another bid in. It took me right out. It's currently at 1,350. I got another bid in at 1,400. Currently winning at 1,400. It's a pure sale. It would be nice if I could take it for 1,400. 1,450. They took me out. Put another bid in here at 1,500. Let's see what happens on this one. 1,500. So it looks like we might take this one. Bonus time. We were really close to taking that home, but they put bonus time, so we're still winning at 1,500. Still winning at 1,500. They just took us out. Outbid. Current bid is 1,550. And of course, we're gonna put another bid in here at 1,600. Currently winning at 1,600. Let's see. 1,600 currently winning, and yeah, we just took that home. 1,600, we just won that bid. So coming out of Texas, we have an estimated shipping cost from Copart around $600. That's not too bad coming from Texas, because Texas is about roughly around 11, 13 hours away. So that's really a pretty good deal. That's as cheap as you're gonna get it going to Tennessee. So we're gonna work on getting that vehicle here. We're gonna get that vehicle in the shop, show you guys what's going on with that car, with that hail damage. We're gonna get a complete inspection done to see what all things needs to be done to get this car ready for sale. So stay locked in. All right, guys, so we got the Ford Mustang in the shop. It got delivered not too long ago. We're getting ready to do a full inspection, under hood, undercarriage, inside, outside. We're gonna take notes of all of the repairs and services that may need to be done on this vehicle. We're gonna try our best to get to all of those services if possible, and try to stay within a decent expense or budget so that we can maximize on a profit. So without further ado, let's get into the inspection. All right, guys, you know the routine. If you've seen one of my videos before, we're gonna hop in this car. We're gonna check the light functions. We're gonna check the wiper functions. We're underneath the hood, gonna check for leaks, any kind of services that need to be done. That air filter is not looking too bad. We're probably gonna keep that. We're gonna jack this vehicle up. We're definitely gonna be safe, put some jack stands. We're gonna creep underneath here with the creeper, shake down this wheel. We're gonna take a look at the brake pads. We're gonna get tire specs. All right, so we just got through with the inspection, the full inspection on this Mustang. A couple of things that we found on this inspection sheet we're gonna go over in just a little bit. But first, I wanna go over the main damage that was present on this vehicle. When we purchased the vehicle, we knew that this vehicle was involved in a hail damage event. So hail damage was the priority damage that was listed on this vehicle at Copart. And I know you guys are probably wondering, like, hail damage, what are you gonna do with that? That's a really good question. Do I fix hail damage? Yes and no. So I'm not a professional body guy, like I've always stated, but hail damage or PDR, paintless dent repair, fixing dents, is actually something that I have been fascinated with. It's something that I have been a student of for the last couple of years. And this is not my first hail damage car. This is actually my first documented hail damage car. but this would be like I think my 5th or 6th hail damage car that I've purchased from Copart. So we're gonna tackle this. This hail damage on this vehicle, it's more on the minor side. It's not very heavy hail damage, and I purposely look for vehicles that have minor to mid-level hail damage. It's hard to spot. I cleaned off the hood just a little bit, but I'm gonna point out some of the hail damage spots that I can see. There's one right here. Depending on the angle, there's one right there. So I'll reflect back and forth in the light, and you can see it pop in and out. See that dent, that impact point right there? So that's hail damage. That's something I'm gonna have to tackle and try to fix. Hail damage impact points right over here. There's one right in there. So another damage that what's not really reported, I can't remember if it was reported, but I definitely seen it online. I almost didn't want to get the car for this because I usually stay away from the rear damage hits like this, but we're gonna try to tackle this too. Now with this dent right here, this is not hail damage. This is somebody actually bumped into this vehicle, maybe at a parking lot or something like that. This is not hail damage. This is separate. This is different, but we're gonna have to tackle this. It's really more challenging to manipulate the metal that's more hard and sturdy than the softer metal. Nevertheless, we're gonna tackle this. The aim is not to make it look perfect, but the aim is to make it look way better than it does now. You can see hail damage right here as well. There's one right here, right? You know, like I said, I'm having a hard time spotting this hail damage. It's really not a lot, it's more minor. So that's the major issues going on with this car. Everything we have on the sheet is more so minor things that we found during inspection. These are things that we really can't see, right? When we're looking at the picture and the vehicle is at the auction, right? So let's go over the issues and the things that we found during the inspection. All right, so moving along on the inspection, we checked out the tires. They're about 9/32 all around. The brakes are about 7 millimeters all around, pretty good, about 70%, 80%. This is about 90%. A couple of things we noted down: sway bar bushing, as well as the left front lower ball joint, power steering rack, serpentine belt. All right, so the lines on the power steering rack, this is the rack and pinion. The power steering rack, to me, it's like a class 1. That's what I consider a class 1, just like wetness, seepage. Nevertheless, we're gonna try to take care of it. We could replace the entire line, looks like one line, but we may not replace it. I definitely have a fix for this by using some self-sealing tape that I've used in the past on hoses and lines like this, like hydraulic lines. It works really well, so we may end up using that instead of replacing this line. All right, so right now we're looking at the sway bar, and this is the bushing. There's 2 bushings. There's one on the driver's side, there's one on the passenger side. So what we did, we grabbed the sway bar to see if there was any play, and there's definitely a lot of play. You can hear it, you can see it. So pretty easy fix. We're gonna just order these bushings online or maybe at a parts store. I'm glad actually that I found that, because I did notice a little bit of swaying when I was hitting the gas while driving this vehicle. It was swaying a little bit, so this makes a whole lot of sense that we found this. Next thing we're gonna look at is the ball joint. So what we did, we grabbed the tire and we shook it from left to right, but you can see there's a bit of wiggle and play in that ball joint. So, all right, moving right along, you can see we have the light shining on the serpentine belt, the drive belt. You can see multiple cracks in that serpentine belt. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that. Ran this vehicle and the AC was blowing just slightly warm. The AC definitely does work, but it's not blowing as cold as it should be. So we're gonna have to look into that. Hopefully it just needs a charge. That'll be an easy fix. We're gonna probably charge the system up a little bit. The inside of the car, as you can see, not too bad. This is an 08. For an 08, the person who did own this vehicle did a pretty good job on keeping this beige tan interior pretty clean. So we're pretty happy about that. All in all, this car looks pretty good. We can't complain. Take another walk around really quick. Really good looking car. This should make for a really good flip. This is our first Mustang, and it probably won't be our last. I've always wanted to get one of these, at least flip one of these. It's definitely fun to drive while I'm fixing it. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up the inspection on this Mustang. So stay locked in as we get into the repairs, as we get into the services to get this car ready for sale. All right, so we're starting at the trunk lid, working on these dents. You can see that dent popping in and out as I toggle back and forth between that light. We're gonna use this short PDR bar. We're gonna wedge it underneath this dent. There's a brace there that is gonna sit in between, and we're gonna just toggle it with a little bit of pressure back and forth, working that dent up. We're gonna work the dent till it protrudes upwards a little bit, then we're gonna knock it down. And as you can see the result, after a few minutes of work, that dent is practically gone. Now we're setting up the light on the hood of the vehicle. We're gonna be using a long PDR rod for most of these dents. Very similar procedure. We're gonna use the light to find the tip of the rod. We're gonna work that dent up until it protrudes just slightly, and then we're gonna use a similar knockdown technique to flatten out the dent. This dent is now about 90% removed. All right, guys. So next step, I want you to take a look at this. I just pulled down the headliner. It took me about maybe 15 minutes or so. Now, and the reason why it took me probably 15 minutes, I pulled out many headliners before for different reasons. Some of them differ. So I like to move a little slower if I'm not familiar with exactly how it's set up, the clips, the bolts, where the screws are. I move a little slower so I don't destroy, break, or damage anything. Now, if I had to do this again, because I just did it, I kind of know what it's about. I could probably do it like in 5 to 3 minutes, right? It's really not that bad. I just want to show you guys that you guys maybe have been looking at some of this work that I've been doing on this hail damage, pulling these dents out from the hood, the trunk, and you're like, you know what, that's not bad, man. I can pretty much learn this and do this. And don't get me wrong, maybe you could, but sometimes it does get involved, man. So sometimes you do have to do things like pull down the headliner and really gain access. Some guys will just use glue pulling methods, just use hot glue and tabs, and don't do anything like pull down the headliner. I find it easier to get the rods and the tools in there. Not easier, but I can get the dents out better with the rods, getting them underneath the metal rather than glue pulling them. I just find that easier, faster. So I like to pull down the headliner and get into the source with the rods. You see, I'm gonna get in with the rods and the bars to pry up on the dents slowly and surely with a little bit of heat to get these dents out of the way. But I just want to show you guys that sometimes it does get involved. You gotta, actually do some work to get to these dents. All right, so this is what the roof of the vehicle looks like now. We pretty much got all these dents about 90 to 100% removed. All right, so we're working on that dent in the rear driver's side. We're gonna be using an inflatable football. We're gonna first deflate it, then we're gonna slowly inflate it while it's in position to pop out the dent. So what's crazy is it was starting to work. I don't know if you saw that. It started to pull out, but this is a very old football. I don't even know where I got it from. So it popped on me. So I'm gonna get another one. I'm gonna get another ball. May not be a football, but I think this is the best. I like the shape of it, so I'm probably gonna get another football, and I'm gonna try it again. All right, so to be continued. All right, so we're back on it the next day. We're gonna try this again. We're applying a little bit of heat to allow the metal to move easier. And it's definitely starting to pop out. I think this might work. What do you think? I'm not sure if I caught that on camera or not, but you might have heard the audio. Another boom. Just lost another football. This one was brand new. I was just going a little bit too much on the pressure and it couldn't withhold, so it blew within the trunk. Luckily, I was outside, trying to make sure I wasn't exposed to a possible blowout. I'm good. The ball isn't. So, got to move on to another one. We decided to stop playing around with this dent. The metal was just too hard to manipulate. Maybe it would have worked if the metal was a little bit softer. We decided to take the old-fashioned route of Bondo and paint. I think it came out pretty decent. What do you think? The check engine light's on with the troubleshooting code P0117, engine coolant temperature sensor fault. This is the old one. This is the location of the new one. You can see the dry belt has multiple cracks and splits, so we definitely need to replace that. It's time to replace the sway bar bushings. This vehicle's also getting a new lower control arm on the driver's side. Even though this vehicle is pretty clean, we're still going to clean it up to make it look even better. We've worked on the car. We made it nice and safe. We're going to add all of the repairs and services to the listing when we post them online. Making this car look really good is going to help sell the vehicle even faster. Let's see if we can get this car to look spotless. I've got to say, the vehicle cleaned up pretty nicely. I think you would agree. Kelley Blue Book is valuing this vehicle at roughly $4,700. I've got an expense sheet pulled up on the right side of the screen. Copart's winning bid amount was $1,600. Copart's fee was $443. We had a shipping fee of $656. We had a title mailing fee of $15. Serpentine belt cost $16. Control arm cost $54 from eBay. Sway bar bushing cost $10. We paid $50 for base coat and clear coat. We had a total expense of $2,844. Estimated value of $4,500. And we sold this vehicle for $4,500, giving us a profit of $1,656. Not too bad. So we had a lot of fun putting this video together. If you caught any value, don't forget to comment down below, like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.